Sheetal Mafatlal. She's a pioneer who was instrumental in bringing international luxury brands into India. He is best described as luxurista. Sheetal, would you like to add something to what everybody else mentioned about
the COVID situation? I think I would say from a privileged position, because we work from home, so I haven't had to face what everybody else has faced. I think I would consider myself lucky from that perspective, though no one wants to be confined, and it is difficult to stay confined. And when travel was predominantly part of my work, and to be restricted from that perspective, because even travel today is something that we don't know anything about. It could be locked down today, tomorrow. It's all kind of in the air. But yes, I know Shane and Falguni's work, so I can imagine that those outfits which got ready in like 2 hours, 1 hour, and was delivered at high speed is going to be a problem. And we don't even know where to wear them anymore. So hopefully we'll find a place to wear it soon. Particularly with things like makeup, when you have somebody like Namrata doing makeup for you, they know your face, they know how to enhance the way you look. So it's very difficult to find a replacement, and I think people will always pay that extra, even if they feel that we should be saving because of market situations and circumstances. They would still pay for a person like Namrata to do their makeup, because it would be a compromise. People don't realize it, but when it's done on your face, then you realize it.
as a brand consultant, what measures and changes have you seen being adapted by multiple brands? And do you feel that the changes that certain brands would have adopted due to the pandemic, do you think that those changes are going to remain? Brands are going to continue working on those lines? Or what do you foresee going ahead for luxury brands? What are the next steps?
Even post this situation of COVID starting, there was already a visible shift that was going from physical retail to online retail. Though when online retail started, there was always a suspicion and a skepticism to buying things which are luxury oriented online. But with COVID, that suspicion has kind of gone away, because it's become something which is the norm today. It's become a normal way to shop, and I think all the customers have embraced online as the new way to go forward. And in order for any brand to succeed and to continue with the certain current circumstances, but also with the world moving towards digital, it is very important to have a very strong online presence. And that is what I would recommend for most of the brands to do. So if you see today the online platforms that exist for retail, they've added service options. There was the usual service option of delivery option, a return option, styling tips, product advice. But now it's the main focus that these brands should focus on is augmented reality, because augmented reality gives you the option of being able to see, for example, if it's a fashion garment from Shane and Falguni, you can try it on, you see it, you know what you look like. If you have accessories to add to it, you can add them, you see the way you look, everything is there on screen, a total look is there on screen without having to venture out of your home. Or if it's a product which is like a home product or a piece of art, a piece of furniture, through augmented reality, you can place that object in your home, you can place it in different places in your home, and eventually choose the right place, the right proportion, and be able to buy that product without having to go back and forth a showroom and go through the entire routine of a physical purchase. So I think the augmented reality is going to be the new focus that an online and every online brand has to have predominantly, where it's going to help sales in the best way without physical contact. The other thing that I feel that brands have to focus on is the advertising and promotion. So the traditional way of advertising and promotion has always been through print media and traditional billboards and ways like that. But that kind of advertising, for example, if you take 1 crore of rupees and put that into that form of advertising, you have maybe a target of 100 and you reach a 10 to 15% target because it's not specific. Today, with online and everything being online and the algorithms that are present online, advertising has also become extremely specific to the client, because through the algorithms, everybody knows, there's a customer profile, what you're Googling, what you're following, which social media platform you're on, what you're looking at, ads that interest you, ads that you press the cross button on. So it gives marketing companies and brands the ability to actually target that specific client, because you're actually putting your product in front of a client that is looking for that product. So you're actually reaching 95%, I would say, of your targeted customer base, as against the old traditional way where you were probably reaching maybe 10 to 15% of your targeted base. So that same budget of 1 CR, if you put into traditional vis-a-vis putting it into online, you have a better reach to the actual target audience. And I also feel, apart from the advertising and the online platform service offering, marketing has also changed. And marketing today, it's about celebrity and social media influencers with product placements onto those platforms. So products are also very visible to an actual target, and the target is you're following a celebrity, you're following a social media influencer, they're looking at a product, they're reviewing the product, they're showing you the product. So everything is done for you. It's a more one-on-one approach to marketing. And the other way of marketing is the product placement, which is happening consistently on reality shows, on TV programs. You know what, on an international level, I think a lot of the brands today, and probably in a way, it may not be physical, but it has given them an ability to actually become more innovative and to have a fashion show which is not physical, but it's online, it's an online promotion, it's digital. And because it is that way, they have to find a more innovative way to actually present their products and to present their show and to present their design. So it's actually going to be a bigger challenge, though it's going to probably enhance everyone's creativity to be able to put that kind of a display online on visibility. It's like what Armani did when Milan Fashion Week, had to be closed down during COVID. And following him, a lot of international brands also today, like Saint Laurent also, is not going to have a physical show. but they still have to showcase their products. And when you have to showcase your products and you don't have that platform, you will have to double to be able to captivate an audience and to be able to captivate your customer base. And I think every designer is going to have to sit down and recreate themselves to a level where that visual online catwalk is going to be more appealing than an actual physical show, because that's what they're actually competing against themselves.
Anything that you would like to tell our audience about how to tackle the next, I would say, 6 months as a business person, as an entrepreneur in your respective fields, because a lot that you would say would inspire the audiences, and a small message or a small I would say quote or anything that you would like to share from your side to the audiences on what you are going to be doing to survive in the next 6 months.
Okay, start with me, because I'm going to give the business advice and not the creative advice. So for me, what I would advise the brands in order to be able to sustain and to keep growing post this situation and to create a strong brand, the primary thing I would say is know your customer demographic, because you need to know who they are, where they are, and what they want. And after knowing that, you also need to know how you are going to be able to meet those expectations in the most convenient and cost-effective way, is the first thing I would say. The second thing that I think is very important in today's environment, in today's world, is the value system that a brand or any company is projecting. So when I say value, it means the ethical value, which is ethical production. It means a diversity and inclusion in the workplace. It means environmental to be careful with the environment, reducing the carbon footprints. And today no brand is being spared from being judged on these factors. So no child labor, sustainability of your production, carbon footprint, and social impact. So I think these are the two main advices that I would give to the brand, to all brands, in order to sustain and to grow for the future.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Thank you.